Let's face it, selling your home is intimidating. Here's 5 terms that you should know before listing your home. When you list your home, your realtor is going to use terms that you may not be aware of. Number 1, contingency. The sale of your home might be contingent on several different things. It all depends on what the buyer puts into the offer, and you don't have to accept everything. But usually it's contingent on them getting a mortgage. And if they're selling and buying, it might be contingent on the sale of their home. So it being contingent on a mortgage, that's why it's really important to have a realtor who knows how to pre-qualify your buyers. Number 2, dual agency. If I were to call up the Long Island Board of Realtors and ask 5 different people to explain dual agencies, I'd get 7 different answers. It's very confusing. In its simplest form, it basically means that your agent should be representing one party in a deal. A dual agency would be if they are working with a buyer as a buyer's agent. That means that they're representing the buyer and representing you. It would have to be fully disclosed. We're told as agents, simply don't do it. That doesn't mean that your agent cannot bring in a buyer. That buyer is acting as their customer, not as their client. 2 different things. All parties should always be treated honestly and ethically, but our fiduciary responsibility is to our seller. Number 3, escalation clause. So if a buyer wants to put in an escalation clause in their offer, basically they're saying that they would outbid another buyer by X amount of dollars. Usually there's a cap on it. Just make sure that when you're accepting an escalation clause that there's a guarantee if an appraisal comes in short. Number 4, out of possession. This is very common on Long Island. We are a lawyer state. So when a survey is done, a lot of times they'll find that a fence is outside the boundaries of where it should be. Usually it's that the seller is actually giving up the right to property. So in order to have that resolved, there's 3 things that can happen. 1, the fence can be moved. Now, if it's your neighbor's fence and it's inside the property line, they might say, wait, no, my title person says it's at the right spot. So it's something that the lawyers usually work out. Now, to fix that so that you can get to the closing table, there are other options besides moving the fence. You can have them sign an affidavit. Basically, it's saying, hey, I know my fence is on your property, but I'm not taking possession of the land. But let's say they're not willing to do that. What do you do then? The best thing to do at that point is simply put a gate in. Not all title companies will allow that. So it's important to check before you do something like putting a gate into your neighbor's yard. If you don't have a good relationship with your neighbor, or let's say you work opposite shifts, you can always ask your realtor to make that request for you. After getting a homeowner to agree to doing this, I've often brought a notary right to the property to make it easier on that neighbor. Number 5, closing date. When closing on Long Island, you're not going to get a definitive date. You get an on or about date. And that's because the buyer needs to get their mortgage and the title company needs to get their reporting. So you can close 30 days before your on or about date or 30 days after. So there you have it. 5 terms that you should know when selling your home on Long Island. If you have any questions, give me a call at 631-355-0316. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment below, and subscribe to my channel for my latest videos. I'm Karen Roth from RE/MAX Integrity Leaders. I'll see you soon. Take a look at my video on selling your home in the fall.